Welcome once again to KW Geeks. I'm your host, Zac Shipley. This week I've got in the hot seat Katie Campbell. Welcome, Katie.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Katie, so you're one of the early adopters, KW Geeks. I can't remember who invited you or when or whatever, but you've been with us for like whatever the 6 months we've had this little group going. So I appreciate you wanting to sit down, but also you're like the person I know the least. I don't even think we've actually met in person, have we?
I don't think we have.
Because I know I went to like KWYP Advance and the Mega Camp this year, but I don't know if you were at either of those.
I wasn't at either of them.
Okay, there you go.
You probably met my husband, but yeah, you probably met my husband, but I haven't gone to an actual event since I think Mega Camp last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since you're the person I know the least, you're the person I have to ask the most questions for. So
great.
So let's go back to the beginning. Where'd you go to school?
So I went to high school in Colorado, and then I moved to Texas and went to Texas Tech for college. And then I stayed in Texas for like 13 years because I fell in love with it.
But you don't live in Colorado or Texas right now, do you?
No, I live in Nashville.
Okay. All right. So what's the when did you get into real estate? You got into real estate when you were living in Texas?
Yeah. I was in Dallas. It was, I think 2017. Is that seems right? Yeah, that would make this 8 years. Yeah, so I got into it in 2017. I had been in like retail management for 10 years prior to that. I worked in the wedding and event planning industry, did some of that for a bit, and then I quit all of that because I wanted a job where I could get out what I put in, and I wanted a little bit more freedom, which I think is like why everybody starts real estate. I'm like, I want my own schedule. And then you realize how much you don't have your own schedule at first. But yeah, so I started. How long is this podcast? Because I've had quite the history with KW. I
have an hour, but really, as long as you want to go.
I was fortunate enough I was planning to join a smaller brokerage that was based out of Dallas for no reason other than I had heard of them a lot. I had seen a lot of signs, and I had one friend who worked with them, and I didn't know any questions to ask, right? I wasn't a realtor, so I didn't know what to ask her about working there. I just said, hey, do you like it? Would they consider bringing on a new agent? She said yes. And then I went to a broker open event. It was at a new build community. And while I was waiting on my license, I was touring new build communities so that I could get familiar with them and learn the inventory and everything. And there were about 25 agents there. And all of them acted like I was imposing on their space. And I was actually kind of also like shopping for myself. But it's not like I had a name tag that was like future agent. You know, it was like I could have been a client. And out of all of those agents, one came up to me, just one. And, you know, asked how I was doing, asked if I was looking for myself. And when I told her that I was getting into real estate, she asked where I was going. And she ended up asking if it was okay for her to tell me about Keller Williams, and she did. And then the next day I met with the ATL and signed my paperwork like immediately. So I've been very fortunate that I've been in it since 2017, and all of that time has been with KW, which is super cool. I love that. And I'm very grateful for that. I started as a solo agent for a couple months, and then I joined a very large team, the Christy Cannon team. Probably if you haven't heard of her, which a lot of people haven't because she stays a little bit behind the scenes, but actually sneakily she's like number 4 in the entire company. So like you should get to know her, but she doesn't put herself out there. She's the best leader I've ever had. And so while I was on her team, I started as buyer's agent, and she saw some things in me and really like asked if I wanted to explore something in operations. And so then I was director of listing operations for our team that was doing over 400 listings a year. And I got to really dive into that. Then I went to her with a business idea about agent to agent referrals. She gave me the go ahead. And so I did that. And then 2020, out of nowhere, I took a TL role in Boston.
So it wasn't Texas to Nashville, it was Texas to Boston.
Texas to Boston. And I was there. I got there 10 days before the world shut down.
Great time to get to know a city.
incredible time to take over as a brand new TL and get to know your agents when your office building won't even let you in. It's just peak living. And a couple months later, found out that I was pregnant and we wanted to have our baby near my husband's family. So I left Boston and moved out to PA. So we were in Philadelphia. And then I kind of started coaching and focusing more on like coaching agents, coaching admin, consulting with people. I did things like help run the KW Wealth community, work with KW Next Gen, do some consulting, some sales, some behind the scenes building for them, like community building for these places. All while like I love to coach and consult with agents, admin, market centers, you name it, whatever. So we were in Philly for 4.5 years and then we just moved to Nashville.
Wow. So I guess it on the one hand, it speaks to talent, to being like headhunted. I mean, I see it here a little bit because our team leader that just joined us or like around the first of the year came up from Texas. So
Yeah,
she
cool.
new to Milwaukee, had never been here before. And then our director of agent services that just joined us came up from Chicago, not quite as far, but it's like, oh, we've got like 2 transplants here because that's what we needed. We couldn't find like the most I don't want to say like couldn't find talent locally, but it's like when you have access, it's the same reason why like an athlete gets traded from like one team to another. It's like, well, here's proven talent, let's bring them in, you know.
Yep. And sometimes it's like the talent, or I think a lot about those like wartime CEO and peacetime CEO, right? And like, well, maybe things aren't as extreme. Things like market centers and teams and agents and like everybody needs something different at different times. And so it might not even be like, it's not saying that there aren't talented people there locally, but what it is saying, maybe the right fit for that moment that y'all needed to take you to the next level was located somewhere else. Unfortunately, they were happy to move there. So, So anyways, now we're in Nashville. Here we are.
Awesome. Yeah, it's quite a story, but like so cool. You've lived in like 3 different time zones and 4 different time zones. I don't know.
Well, I mean, before that, like I was born in Ohio, lived in upstate New York, moved to Colorado, then Texas. So yeah, I've lived. I just haven't done the West Coast, and I probably won't. No, I'm not super interested in that.
You ever know when you don't turn down an offer like before it happens. You ever know, like somebody from San Francisco calls up and say, "Hey, Katie, I got the ideal thing for you."
Closest I've gotten so far is I was like, I had like a really appealing offer in Arizona, and to the point where like I told them to send it to me so that I could look at, and I told them I was intending to sign it. And then like we had personal things come up where we couldn't move. But that's the closest I've gotten to the West Coast, was I was very close to saying yes to Arizona. So my husband and I always say we're like 7-Eleven. I'm always open. I will always have a conversation. I will never turn it down. But it has to make a lot of sense for our family.
That's the ideal. You hear somebody out, at least don't turn anything down like from the outside. So
I tell people up front too. I'm like, I would love to talk to you, and if it's not me, I make a point of knowing a lot of amazing people. So like, if it's not me, it's probably somebody that I know. So like, tell me what you want, and if it's not me, I'll hook you up with the right person.
And so your role in Nashville that you're at right now, like what are you doing there?
Great question. So you don't know me super well. You'll know this as you get to know me. I am a person who does like 100 things at one time. So my husband's an agent. And so we work with Constellation Home, a home team, which like they have expansion in Louisiana and Tennessee and Connecticut. And so we run the Nashville one. So I'm kind of working side by side with him on that, but I also am like very focused on coaching and community building. So I'm building out like some like entrepreneurial community groups and masterminds and things like that for people just to really grow connection, because I love that. But yeah, right now, for the first time in a very long time, I'm mostly focused on coaching and sales. How weird is that? And community building, of course. But like, if you want to go like official within KW, that's it.
Well, that's part of the purpose of this podcast, is to make it look more official and everything. I've had a meeting with a couple of people from like the big like KW International, and they told me, here's what we need you to do if you're going to make this official. I'm like, okay, I'll work on it. So
all right, check.
that said, we're not there yet, so we can still screw around on this podcast. So now that we've got like your kind of more or less professional idea set, like what's your geek history? Like what are you a fan of? What do you love? What do you want to? What's the thing that makes you go like, oh yeah, I'm a geek?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you that it was probably like a later realization in life that I was a geek, because what I thought was just like, well, everybody would love to, like, why wouldn't you just learn about things? I learned fairly recently, embarrassingly late in life, that was actually like ADHD hyperfixation on things, which inadvertently turned me into like, I would say I would nerd out about things. So I'm very, very nerdy about a lot of stuff, but then geek wise. So like I was the girl who like, I did Pokemon. I did, oh my gosh, the name is escaping me right now, but it was an anime when I was little. I had like a skateboard for it and everything. I was just like so into Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z. And that was probably where I first like dipped my toe in the water, right? And my brother is a huge geek too. And so I just like learned from him because he's older than me. I would say right now the main ones are Pokemon. Like I love Pokemon. We play Pokemon Go all the time. We have friends. We have a group chat specifically for like helping people with raids that we're in almost daily, sending stuff. And then I've recently gotten pretty into D&D. I dove in. My husband and I had played previously, kind of off and on, and I liked it, but we had never had a campaign that really like went on for a long period of time, and now we've been doing one for a while, and I'm like so into it. So I would say like Pokemon, I love Magic the Gathering, and D&D are probably like my biggest ones right now. Oh man, put D&D at like the top of the list.
It's so funny because I think about like how like there's different brands of nerd and there's different kinds of geeks in there, and like somebody who's like very leadership and operations minded, like is tends to be more of the like role-playing game stats. so it's like Pokemon, D&D, like all these things, like stuff with a lot of numbers, a lot of like strategy. It's like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. This does all add up.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
Like, my personality is a little bit more like Halo. It's like, oh yeah, let's shoot first and ask questions later.
Okay.
So when I'm with a client, it's like, oh, let's write the offer, send it out, let's see what happens.
Are you a high D personality?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
High D, yeah.
So
the eyes up there too, but the high D for sure.
I never thought of it. So like I'm a high I, but I'm a high I, high C, and my husband is a CS. And so like we both really love, like my D is almost non-existent. I've like trained it up a little bit for work. That's a really interesting thought. I had never made the correlation between like what people, but that does make sense. Like I love strategy. I love strategy.
Yeah. It's not like I don't like it or don't do it. It's just like I just find myself I can get overwhelmed really easily if I'm playing a game with too much stats. Yeah. I go like, oh please, like so on that note, the Halo, the team that made Halo originally, Bungie, made another game, Destiny, and I really liked Destiny, and it was, but like Destiny, the longer it went on, the more it leaned into the RPG thing, to the point where there's like 20, there's like mobility and attack, it's like there's all these attack stats, and people are on the forums, there's min-maxing. I'm just saying like, hey, I got this gun, like here's the roll on it, is this good or not? I ask other people to like do my build for me. It's like I got the skill, I can like run around and shoot and do all the stuff. Like I can I'm like more like in the moment strategy, what do I need to do at this second? But the whole prepare and like gear up thing, that's the stuff that kept me back in that game.
That's so interesting though. That's so interesting. I also love that you like made the connection of that, had people do it.
Mhm. Well,
Huh.
I think there's all the aspects of either gaming or nerdy stuff. It's like there's stuff that like applies to all of our jobs, like in a real like one-to-one sense.
Yeah.
And so I look for that like constantly. What are people like? What are they into? And I bet you like that will inform what their job is. There's like so many of my clients that are like real into gaming, or whether it's tabletop or video gaming or whatever. Like I find out like, oh, they're computer engineers, they're this, they're that. It's like there's very few people who are like really good at those type of games that are not like also educated and also like professionals. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why like lead genning for geeks is like so great. So it's like almost all of them have good jobs. They're all qualified. They already,
Right.
if they don't have a house already, then they're gonna be able to get a good house. And if they get a good house that they need to sell, it's like it's it's real easy for me to draw that line.
Yeah. 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 It's interesting because you think about like, growing up, or you hear people now telling younger kids like, oh, well, don't write off the nerds because they'll be your boss one day, or they're the ones who actually have it figured out. And it's like, it sounds so cliche when you're telling younger kids that, but then when you live out, like, I don't ever just think about like, oh, this person is cool or this person is nerdy, or like, that just seems so antiquated at this, like we're adults. And I think what you're saying has a lot of validity, because it's like, well, there are people who just prefer to like learn and acquire knowledge and apply it creatively and like move forward in life and always looking for advancement. And, you tend to see signs of that early on, probably in school a little bit. But, to your point, like people who are nerdy or geekier probably tend to have better jobs or a job, or, and I know I don't want to like put out a blanket statement, because I know that there's also struggles with like, certain things with neurodivergence can make it really hard to apply those things. And, it's tough, and I don't want to make anybody feel bad about that, but that is really interesting.
I've been fired a lot. So that's all. That's part of the neurodivergence, is that like, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. But to my credit, the real estate world has given me a lot better organizational skills, so I forget about stuff a lot less.
There you go. I don't know if it's good or bad for mine, because like, so I'm a high I, high C, right? And I've got ADHD. And I had no idea, because I went to pretty small schools. And so like, it was kind of, like, here's your options, here's what you do in life, whatever. And then I walked into real estate thinking I'm going to go sell some houses. And I got on Christy's team, and there were so many opportunities just within her one team that I was like, I didn't even know that was a job. And then the first time I went to her and had a business plan, and I had it laid out where I like created my own job and showed it to her, and she was on board, and I was like, this is dangerous for me to know. And then my resume started looking crazy, because people would ask me to do things. I'm like, well, that sounds interesting. Yes. That sounds interesting. Yes. All of a sudden I have 7 jobs. I'm like, I look so unstable. It's like, it's so good for me, because anything that's interesting I can just do. And there's a limitless amount of information. There's a limitless amount of people to meet. And like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's good or bad.
I think one of the hardest things that folks like you and I run into is saying no to stuff, because you do kind of like have that constant quest for knowledge, constant quest for new experiences. So of course you're going to volunteer for 7 different jobs. Of course you're going to be say you could do this and that and the other. And so why not? And it's hard. It's hard for you to realize that because we're only in our own head. It's hard for us to realize that like not everybody else is like this. That's something that can only come with like a little bit of age and experience, and talk with other people and go like, oh, I'm different.
Yeah. We talk a lot about having like a board of advisors, right? And so I have board of advisors in my life, and they know like my big goals and who I am and my life's mission and all the things. And they have very explicit permission to question me or push back or tell me that I'm being stupid. And there are some when I'll be like, hey, I just got off a call with so-and-so, and like, this sounds really interesting. And they're like, Katie, what are you doing? You know, and I'm like, oh, but it like, because I have a filter, right? Like I learned this from Brad Knowles that, you know, you write out your life's mission, you get really honed in on what your life's mission is, and then that's your filter for everything on what you can say yes or say no to. And so I did that. That's great. And so, but like the ways that I'll twist things to be like, it furthers my mission. It works for me. And they're like, you called me 2 days ago crying because you were overwhelmed. Like, put it down. Say no.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is especially hard when you look at something and you go like, I know I can do this. I know I can be good at this. But like, how can you possibly say yes to everything?
Apparently you can't. I'm learning that. Okay. It's a lifelong journey. We'll see.
I'm very overwhelmed myself, and yet I find time for everything. And so in addition to KWE, I'm also on the board of a nonprofit that does concerts in the park in my town. So like we're booking that. I'm taking over like the marketing for that, like next week or whatever. So I've got a whole plan around that. Luckily, like there's a lot of overlap with the real estate skills, because it's like, oh yeah, I already know how to make a content calendar, but not everybody else thinks about stuff like that.
Yeah, we have a joke that I can't be left unsupervised, because I do things like I get ideas that I think are really good, and to be fair, like some of them are right.
Yeah.
But then I think about it and then I put it into action like very quickly, and we call it like I shouldn't be unsupervised. And so a couple weeks ago, I got a call from my husband because he was at the office and he happened to see that in our neighborhood Facebook page, I had posted like, who wants to do a book club? And he was like, like, why are you started? So for like reference, we just moved down here. We have a 4-year-old. We're getting used to like a new area, new roles, building up business, doing all of the things. We also like recently found out that I'm pregnant, and he was like, why are you starting a book club? And I was like, lead gen. I'm going to call it lead gen. Oh, oops.
Now, see, and my version of that would be like, I'm going to start a book club. It's like, what are you going to read? I was like, oh, I don't read.
Books nearby.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to get the summaries of these books, and then I'll talk about them that way.
Okay, I will say though that
I don't have enough time.
I ran one book club for a book that I had read. I loved it, right? But I intended to read it again, like during the book club, and go through it and do all of it. And there was no way. There was so much going on. Like there was no way. And so I did actually have like ChatGPT put together these book club things from it, like summaries, questions, activities, discussion points, like all the things. And it was really great. And at the end of it, I was like, oh, I kind of feel like I reread that. Like that was really helpful. Sometimes
you just need the high points. It's fine. So let's dig back into something. A couple weeks ago, I put a question out to the group. It's like, hey, anybody want to do a Halloween podcast? We're like, hey, can't this just be mine? So is Halloween your favorite holiday? Are you passionate about Halloween?
No, it's not my favorite holiday, but I do think it's very fun. So like my favorite thing in life is food. So Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Halloween is also very good. Yeah. Yeah. Halloween is also good because there's like candy, but I love everybody's excitement about their costumes and stuff. And so like, here's the other thing. I grew up in like a very, very religious household, right? So I'm still a Christian, but I grew up in a very religious household, and you find a lot of people in church who don't think that celebrating Halloween is okay. And my family somehow still said that it was like okay to trick or treat and dress up, but none of the other things. Like you can, no ghosts, no witches, no nothing, like, and you can't go to houses that have those or whatever. But I enjoyed dressing up and I enjoyed trick-or-treating. That was always fun. And now, like as an adult, as I learned to like make my faith my own and understand what it means for me, and understanding the difference between like enjoying a holiday and the celebrations around it and things like that, and also like being confident in my faith and what I know to be true and what I believe in stuff. Like it's very fun to rediscover this holiday and like show our son how fun it is, and like do a little bit of the spooky stuff. Nothing demonic, but like, like do some haunted houses, do some haunted corn mazes, like have a little bit of fun with some of the stuff. My husband and I, we started early this year actually, but we usually watch spooky movies all through October and stuff to kind of get in the mood. Right. and yeah, we haven't started with movies, but we did watch the new season of Wednesday that came out, and now we're rewatching Sabrina because I love it. So good. But yeah, so it's not like I'm not one of those girls who my entire life have been like, oh, spooky season, but I do actually I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy like being able to show kids how fun it can be, and like I think I'm more passionate about it now because we live so much online and so much of our lives are exposed, and everything is just like, it's just such a weird time to be alive. And for that one night, like people can dress up and escape to like the whole world is a fantasy land, and you can just really like immerse yourself in it and enjoy the experience. And I love that.
Something I think about when I think about Halloween specifically is Scooby-Doo. And one of the core things about the old Scooby-Doo cartoons is that like there's a monster, there's a ghost, there's a witch, there's somebody haunting something, and then at the end they rip off the mask, and that's just that it's like
Yeah.
some creepy person, but not an actual ghost, not an actual zombie, not an actual whatever.
Right.
And I just feel like Halloween is can be just an extension of that. It's just demystifying. Like none of this is real, and none of it's scary, fun, scary. It's not.
Right.
Yeah, you know, yeah. I like a spooky movie, but I don't like a horror slasher movie. You know, it's kind of a difference. I just think like Ghostbusters. You know, it's like that's a spooky movie. There's ghosts in it, but it's not gory. They're not trying to give you nightmares.
Yeah. I'll watch a couple with like jump scenes, and I'll do some horror movies. Not a lot of them though. I get scared of the dark too easily or something. I don't know. But like I read a lot of psychological thrillers, and I love mystery, but I don't really love just all of the gore for the sake of gore. And so I guess that's like Halloween can also fall into like, you know, the people who just want to be really graphic and whatever. But then also like right now, so again, brand new to the area, we were not prepared for this. It is not even October, and our entire neighborhood is already decked out for Halloween, like decked out. And I am loving it. It's so fun. We have orange lights, purple lights. We have graveyards in everybody's yard. We have like black cats everywhere, and ghosts and skeletons hanging from trees. And like, there's so much stuff everywhere. And it's so fun to just like pretend and, you know, like kind of enjoy the fantasy of it all. And it's not scary. It's not scary though. There's nobody has fake blood all over the place, you know, like nobody's standing out there with a chainsaw. It's just fun.
I think of like decorating like that, whether it's for Halloween, Christmas, or anything. That's like a neighborhood green flag. Like if someone's asked me, is this area nice or is this good or whatever, I always just kind of point to like the houses and say like, if people didn't care about where they live, they would not decorate like this.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. Like, you know, I never thought of that.
The more decked out like it is, the more I go like this is a community here. These are not renters. These are not grumpy people. These are not shut-ins. If they spend their entire Saturday, you know, up on the roof putting up lights, it's probably an okay area.
Yeah. That's a great point. We laughed really hard about it, honestly, because we had the conversation of like, do we think our neighborhood is going to be good for trick-or-treating, or do we need to kind of ask around what the hot neighborhoods are? Because in Pennsylvania, it's very much like one neighborhood might be pretty dead, and then there's like one hot one where everybody flocks to. And so we were like, man, we'll have to figure that out because we want our son to have fun. There's some kids in the neighborhood, but I don't know if that means people pass out candy or if they'll all just be trick-or-treating or whatever. And literally over the past week, we are legitimately one of the only houses that is not decorated, and it's because we just had no idea we should be doing it in September. So we're going to get on the ball here. But like our entire neighborhood has transformed into Halloween Town. And to your point, like, yes, all of our neighbors know each other. They're all very kind to each other. They help each other out. Our neighbors across the street went out of town to help with some family stuff, and they were gone for like a month or something. And so, you know, the next door neighbor's helping out. We're watching their house. Like everybody's involved. Everybody cares. Everybody is like, I call it, you know, there's like indoor cats and outdoor cats. Our entire neighborhood is an outdoor cat in the way that like everybody's outside all the time. Like they'll mow their lawns and then just stand around and talk to each other. We walk the dogs and like stop and just talk forever. Everybody's kids know each other. Like everybody's outside. Everybody cares about their houses. And like, yes, we have an HOA, but no, they're not crazy. So, you know, it's like people actually care about where they're living and they care about it for themselves, but also to like keep the neighborhood. It was when we moved in, everybody told us, I thought it was so funny. They kept saying like, oh, you'll love living here. Like it's such a nice neighborhood. Everybody's so nice. It's such a quiet neighborhood. And I told Brett, that's both a comfort and a warning. Like I bet that everybody says that to every new person who moves into this neighborhood as a like, this is a quiet neighborhood. Keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a warning. But yeah.
Yeah, I have my own feelings about the quiet neighborhood thing. Like I was talking with my wife yesterday about like our potential vacation home in a in like a beach area where I grew up, because I grew up in Delaware.
What part?
Rehoboth Beach,
Oh,
Delaware. Yes, yeah. Lower, slower. I mean, yeah, I guess if you spent some time in Pennsylvania, you might have vacationed there at least once.
One of my favorite KW agents is in Rehoboth Beach.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody was Matt.
Yeah, I coached his admin when she first came onto his team, and like, I just love them so much.
I think it's a small world that like he's like serving, and he's kind of like one of the KW celebrities, like because he's on he's always like in all these like mega camp like or family reunion stage things. It's like people are like he's from this town, like that town's like 20,000 people.
I know.
It's a small town. Granted, like you can do really well there because there's so much beachfront there, but like the reason I don't live there anymore is because I circa 2000 I'm out of high school, and it's dead from like September to May. There's nothing. There's nothing for 20 something there. Like, there's no nightlife or whatever. So it's like, so like, I gotta leave. I can't like. It's like it was fine when I was a teenager, but like, and it's also fun in the summer, but like not any other time of year. Now it's a little bit more year round, but like 25 years ago, it's pretty bad. It's pretty boring.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so like, I think that's. Yeah, it depends on what you call a quiet neighborhood, right? And that's part of why like we can't say that as agents. Like we have to be really careful on what we call things. But like I used to say that living in Dallas, kind of the opposite. Like I loved living there. We had so many restaurants, and so many like we had a huge variety of food. And we truly were kind of a melting pot there, right? You had people, every culture from every corner of the earth that was there, because we had so many industries there. And so a ton of people it wasn't like one industry heavy. And so we had like great food. The sports were easily accessible. All the sports owners really were determined to keep the prices down. Highly rated schools, lots of shopping, like all of the things that I wanted for a place to live, we had. But people would come in town and they're like, oh, I'm going on vacation to Dallas. I'm like, why? Like there's nothing here, quote unquote, to do, I mean, I guess. And now I live in like a very vacation heavy place, right? Like everybody goes to Nashville for vacation. And so what we consider a quiet neighborhood here basically means like there's not huge parties all the time, but like it's very active. Our town, there's so much to do. And again, like we come at it from a little bit different perspective now because we're older, we have a kid. So like we're looking more for family friendly stuff than we are for like vibrant nightlife. We're all tired. So it's like, it's a little bit different what we qualify as like things to do, but I don't know, there's a lot here, but I still consider it like a little quiet, but I like that. That's what I want at this point in my life. I don't know if 15 years ago I would have enjoyed it. Yeah.
At least for me, it came back around because for a long time it was like, okay, I've got small kids. I want to look for certain things, but like make sure it is like, accessible for kids, and it's got the right schools and got the right. Now we've got that, but my oldest is 15, my other one's 13, and I'm looking at it's like within 5 years, they're both out. and I can
Wow.
resume. I can pick up my 20s where I left off.
Wow. That's wild.
You know, it's like we're like even this like so as we're recording this, it's I'm probably not gonna release this for a couple weeks, but as we're recording this, I've like 2 weeks ago I was in Chicago for Riot Fest. It's a huge punk and hardcore festival for 3 days, and all I can think of is like, thank God my kids are old enough to like be home, but also like not demanding to also go to this.
Right. You're in a sweet spot right now.
And hopefully this is a frustration you don't have with your own kids as they get older, because like some stuff they'll glom onto and like really enjoy because it's like it's mom or dad's favorite, and some stuff they'll just like reject outright. And for some reason, loud music is the thing my kids don't like. They like all the other stuff I like. Like we can watch the same movies, TV shows, read the same books, whatever. All of our other entertainment choices where we are lockstep, but loud music, they're like, eh.
That's so interesting. Wow.
That's fine. I'm determined to be the oldest guy at the punk show.
So my brother's 10 years older than me. So he and I are living, like, his oldest just graduated high school, and then I called him and told him I was pregnant, right? So like we're living very opposite lives right now. And same thing as you, he's like a few years away from all of his kids being out of school. And I think he'll always stay where he is because they're going locally to school, and you know he has a great relationship with them and stuff. But I think he'll probably get a second house like in Florida or somewhere fun. But even now that they're all upper teenagers, they're very responsible, like they all have their stuff down. So like this man, he travels more now than I did in my 20s when I was like single and childless. He like we'll text him and be like, hey, do you want to FaceTime? And he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm surfing off like the coast of Mexico or something. I'm like, what? Like, and he's like, no, it's great. Like when your kids get older and they want to do their own thing, and it's exactly like what you're saying. It's like they're not really into what I'm into right now. Like we have shared interests at home. Like they go to football games together and they do all this stuff together at home. He's like, they don't care about this and they would rather be at home with their friends. Like, wow, that's wild.
But also, like, I am glad that there are some things that they do get really into. I feel like this, not to tie it back into Halloween. Like we don't have to keep
no, it's fine. I love it.
But like here we are a couple weeks out from Halloween, and like I finally got them to kind of pick a costume and everything else. But again, 15, 13, they're not really going like the kids' Halloween parties anymore. They might still trick or treat a little bit in the neighborhood if friends go, but but I feel like the teenage years are just like they're awkward in so many other ways, but that's also awkward for holidays because it's like they're not as into that thing right now. And then once they get in their 20s, college age, then it'll become like it'll all come back to like, oh, now we're going to this party and we're not trick or treating, we're going it's like with their college age, it'll be partying. But like right now, I'm still like, well, I'm gonna DJ 2 different trunk or treats because that's like part of my thing. I somehow got on the list for like all these Halloween trunk or treat parties. So I've got 3 gigs coming up this month, and I just told them, like, just come out with me. You can be the ones throwing out the candy, and that way I don't have to worry about it. I can just focus on my own thing.
That's fun. That's awesome. What did they decide on for their costumes?
Oh, this was my daughter's idea to be gonna be ketchup and mustard. So she's dressing up with a mustard bottle. He likes ketchup. It's a good brother sister costume, but also fine on its own. Like if they separate, like he could just still be a ketchup bottle. It's funny.
That's cute. I like
last
that.
Year we did the full family costume. We were Bob's Burgers. So like the mustache, I was dressed up as Bob. Dawn has dressed up as Linda many times, and then the kids were Louise and Jean. We don't have a Tina, but that's fine.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
we've done so like our son is 4, so we've just tried to do like his interests. So like one year he was a minion, he was toothless one year. I don't even know if we dressed up with him during those ones. Last year I think was toothless. This year he's going to be a pirate. And he's also very into the Kraken. So I will be a Kraken. while he is a pirate, and I think Brett's gonna be. But then, like, we usually, if we go hang out with friends or something, we'll do a different costume that has nothing to do with our kids, obviously. So I have to figure that one out too this year. I only have the family one done, not the couples one. It's fun.
I like having a costume that I still like doing different things, but a few years ago I put together like a Ghostbusters uniform with a pack and everything.
Sweet.
And like that's also just one I've just come back to. It's like if I have no other, I'm just going to be a Ghostbuster again. Like I did a custom. Like I've got my own. It doesn't say Venkman. It says Shipley. It has my own name on it.
That's
so
awesome.
It's not. I'm not dressed up as one of the Ghostbusters. I'm dressed up as Zac as a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, yeah.
This is me.
So I have like an aversion to just the store-bought costumes. And not for our kid, because he's 4. He's going to grow out of it probably before he even finishes the neighborhood. I don't like whatever. If he likes it, I'm happy. But like for us, I can't do it. I can't just go to a store and buy it. Like even if I have the same idea, I have to figure out a way to like make it my own or customize it or put it together myself. And I don't know why that is, but I just can't. I think last time I had like ordered a costume and just wore a costume from a store was like 5th grade when I was a cell phone.
Yeah. Like I might go to one of those Halloween stores for like a couple things.
Yeah.
Little flourishes. But yeah, like I bought some blue overalls to be Luigi for a video game convention earlier this year. And then I realized I was like, well, I gotta do is like swap the hat and the shirt, and now it's Mario. It's like, okay, well, but it's like they're just blue overalls. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like, and as long as I have the mustache, it's fine.
Yeah.
Even the Ghostbuster uniform, I bought a like a mechanic's like jumpsuit.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then put the patches on it because it's like all it has to be is just all one thing, and then a belt that I can holster the trap on. It's like it was easier than I thought. The hardest part is that the patch fell off after like 5 years of like of wear and tear, but I stitch it back on. I'm fine.
I think last year we found out really last minute, like very last minute. Some friends were like, "Hey, let's have a game night. Like, let's have an adults only game night, and let's just dress up," which seemed really silly because all of us are like 30 plus. We weren't having a party; it was just a game night. But whatever, that's fine. And I again was not going to go out and buy a costume, and I really, didn't have a lot of brain capacity left, and so I have you seen the movie Mean Girls?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I just got like a white.
Coming right up.
So I got like a white tank top that we just had like lying around the house and cut holes in it to be like when she cuts the holes in the tank top. And Brett had a blue sweatshirt that he pulled really tight around his face and had like a handwritten sign that said she doesn't even go here. And I was like, perfect. This is like the cheapest, like lowest quality costume I think we've ever done, and it was so funny and we laughed so hard about it. I loved that one. I loved it.
That's hilarious. I love it. All right, so you mentioned you've got a 4-year-old and that you have one on the way.
One on the way, due in March.
Due in March. Okay, so you're probably not showing. There's no
I am. Oh, yeah. This is my second baby, so I'm showing much earlier. Yes, you can definitely look at me and go, "Oh, she's got a child." So yeah, we, had the pirate and Kraken idea because I didn't know how pregnant I was going to look come Halloween. So yeah, I was like, I actually just said that. I was like, what pregnant thing can I do? Because when I was pregnant with Connor, I definitely was not showing in October. So like it made no sense to do anything. Like I wasn't even showing a little bit. And this will be our last baby. So it's my one shot to do a pregnancy costume or something that's funny with a belly.
Pregnant with a baby Kraken.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
The boy has to fight the baby Kraken.
He will. Oh, he will. Oh my gosh.
All right.
He's so funny.
Okay, this is amazing. Katie, I really appreciate you spending so much time working with me on this and talking and also just sharing like your story with everyone here. If someone wants to find you, to hire you as a coach or a consultant or whatever, offer you a job in another city, how do they reach you? Where do they find you?
ksoup@kw.com. Soup, like my last name is Campbell, so like Campbell Soup. ksoup@kw.com, or kdj.soup on almost every social media platform.
All right, awesome, Katie. Again, really appreciate it. And yes, the Campbell thing is funny. I try not to make that joke to like other people. And I just closed another client named Campbell, and I'm like looking up on my tabs here. I put somebody else named Campbell coming up. It's like how is this the most common name in my world right now?
It is. It's for some reason like people don't know how to spell Campbell. And so soup was so much easier. And I was like, you won't forget it. You just won't forget that it's soup.
Campbell. It's like,
it's easy. It's easy.
Easy for you, for me. Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
Again, appreciate it. And I'll send some people your way.
Okay, good to talk to you.
Thank you everyone for tuning into KW Geeks. We'll see you next time. Bye.